Okay, so you guys had gone to bed. Aurelia sent Ophelia a message, I think, before you went to sleep, asking you guys to meet her the next day to just help out. She wasn't very specific because it was a 25-word message, but she did say where to meet. So, and I think she just said like in the morning. She was super specific. Um,
I think she said we were meeting at the same hotel
yes.
that she's
Yeah.
staying at, but she didn't give a time.
Yeah.
No, yeah, she didn't give a time, but
Like
Morning.
a
just say
jackass.
sometime in the morning. um, oh well, sending is like that. You forget to put all the information in sometimes. No, you would never say too many times and accidentally leave something out. Okay, the wedding happened. It went as well as could possibly have been expected under the circumstances. There was a little bit of extra security from the Crown's Guard, but that was about it. And now you're not totally sure what's going on uh, with the Crown's Guard investigation. Aurelia might be able to tell you, or the Guild investigation, but I think Cassia and Tayo had said that the sort of deal that they made with the Watchmaster was that Cassia was going to basically be under house arrest for a while, like essentially post wedding. She is not supposed to leave home unless, you know, she is told that they need her for something or she gets permission or whatever, just while this is worked out. And she's temporarily suspended from her job duties with the guild. But you guys can go do whatever you want, pretty much. So we will see how this goes. What stats was I using for Felix? I think it was just mage. Oh, and Adakora Hanalora mentioned to you that she had gone out last night to talk to one of her contacts from the Augen Trust, who is stationed in Druvenlode and has some connections to the Druvenlode criminal underworld. And she said that she had a name of someone who kind of matched Felix's description and was like known in the local criminal networks as kind of a job broker. So this is someone that you could potentially. She was not really sure how to pass that information to Aurelia or the rest of the group without, it being super suspicious.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a lot of progress made on thinking my way out of that one.
Okay, that is fine. Where is my dude?
Your dude? Where's your dude?
My dude, Felix. I think, okay, I made like a stat, like I didn't make him a character sheet. He has like an NPC stat block. I cannot remember find those. Okay, here we go. My home creations. Let's see. All right, here he is. Yep. Blorbo from my notes. That's every NPC in this game. Okay, and I think I'm just gonna skip to the next day unless there was anything anybody wanted to do that night.
Hannelore had mentioned that she might go out again, and I told her to let me know if she was, but otherwise I'm just going to go to bed. So.
Okay. Yeah, Anne and I had kind of talked about maybe Adakora and Hannelore going on a little side mission, but I don't know how much time that would take or how like boring it would be for you two. And I think I think I'm probably gonna not do that just because she already has the information, the name. So if if she could figure out how to get that to come up some other way, that's probably the main concern at this point. Is that all right?
Yep.
Okay, sorry guys. I should have like talked about that with everyone beforehand, but I got it. Okay, so Hannelore ends up not going anywhere that night. And she probably, yeah, she's like, okay, I got a message from my contact. I'm not anywhere tonight. We'll figure this out. Yeah, this complete stranger who's also a criminal. Okay, so yeah, you guys wake up the next morning. The house is a little bit subdued today.
Not for me. The wedding's fucking over. There's nothing to fear.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Cassia, I think, she's still like up early doing something. Paperwork? You're not really sure what she's doing. But she seems to be busy with something. And Taito was also up, and they're just eating breakfast. Ophelia, did you tell them last night that Aurelia had called you? I don't remember.
Yeah. She stared at Adakura while...
That's right.
Oh, God.
Just
the telepathy.
Clearly the easiest way to convey information.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I don't know if you told Antimony.
Did you?
I feel like she would have.
Okay, great. So everybody knows. So you guys come downstairs, you have breakfast. Kassia's absorbed in something, but she smiles at all of you. Taito looks a little grumpy, which is not his normal state. He's usually a pretty cheerful person. But he kind of just looks at all of you and says, so, I don't remember if you told us how long you were planning on staying. Is there like a time you have to be back at the Cobalt Soul?
Wow, that's a really good question.
Get out of my house.
Our father is just like, you've done enough.
You got your mom arrested. Now please leave. That's not necessarily the vibe you get from him, but he does ask you this question.
That we asked.
That's the vibe Ophelia wants it to be. I genuinely can't remember if you guys had said when you'd be back.
Yeah, Atacora doesn't remember. Let's see if my notes remember. And that jogs his memory.
Yeah, I should have.
You're breaking up a bit.
Oh, okay. Sorry. How's that?
Better.
That's good, yeah.
The computer closer to myself. I wish I had a desk, but I don't. We have one table in our apartment. And Juliana is using it. She could, yeah. Yeah, I vaguely remember you guys saying you were going to be out of town for about a week, and then you left like a couple days before the wedding, right? Like you were in town maybe 3 days
Yeah, something like
before
that.
the wedding. It hasn't been a week. Like you have a couple more days before you're expected back, I think. Let's see. 3 days before the wedding. When did you get to Druvenload? Oh, I went back too far. That's Besae Steel.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I made a timeline. Here we go. So 4 days before the wedding, you guys got to Druvenload at like noon. So you spent 3 full days in town, and then there was the wedding.
yes.
So it's like
Yeah.
your fifth full day in Druvenload.
I don't have any notes about how long we said we were staying. I was a little busy, it looks like, in my notes. Freaking out about other things. So, so as far as I know, we don't have a solid day we need to be back, other than Hannah probably didn't take an incredible amount of time off for this.
No,
so.
she definitely didn't.
Her job is a little less loosey goosey than ours.
Yeah.
Job.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say that she told her assorted bosses that she was going to be gone for a week.
Okay.
Technically, I suppose, since I'm basically a freelancer.
Yeah,
in
you can
theory,
kind of do
I can
whatever
stay forever.
you want.
Right, so that gives us what? Today and tomorrow?
That gives Hannelore today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
The rest of you could probably figure something else out. Okay, yeah, I think she says that. She's like, oh, well, I have to be back in town day after tomorrow, or I should leave here. Yeah, she's gonna have to leave day after tomorrow, we'll say. But I don't work at the Cobalt Soul, so.
Yeah. Well, we could ask Torkel if we have to be back. But we do have the cart, so.
That's true. I mean, I could find my own way back if I needed to. It's
if we
not
need to be
very
back,
far.
if we need to be back sooner, you should probably tell us. But I turn to Ophelia. You talk to him every day, right?
Yep, he sends me 7 messages every day. And he doesn't give a fuck.
I don't remember what you've told Torkel about any of this.
I was just thinking about how I could probably tell him that we're experiencing difficulties and maybe they could help us a little bit, but like, Ophelia didn't think that far ahead. So maybe if she has some spells after tonight.
All right. Okay, Taito's like, I didn't mean to put any pressure on you to stay or leave. I was just wondering.
What if he puts the pressure on us to stay, Ophelia?
Yeah, what if he's like, please stay and help exonerate Cassia? Since you've got us into this mess. Really, I would have figured it out eventually without your help, probably.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Aurelia probably like waiting for us. Because I did tell her that she didn't give a time, and I said I was going to be there at like the crack of dawn, but
Well, that
it's
was a
not the
little
crack of dawn. So.
optimistic. Yeah. I don't know that I've ever known you to do something voluntarily at the crack of dawn.
Maybe I said as soon as I wake up, but I don't know if Aurelia knows me like that, so.
I'm imagining Aurelia like receiving that message and just being like, what does that mean though?
Well, if she wants to play games and not give me a time, then I don't have to give her a time, you know?
Yeah, that's valid.
Amazing.
She's the one with more spell slots. If she wants to send me another message, she can.
Really makes you wonder how the Cerberus Assembly gets anything done.
A mystery. You're welcome to stay as long as you want. Obviously. I just don't want you to feel like you need to. We're going to be fine. We'll get this resolved.
Well, we'd like to stay to help resolve it if we can, but we'll see.
Yep. I know, I'm like jamming a little bit over here. Yeah. Dancing a little. All right, this is Taito. Just be careful. Whatever you decide to do.
We will. We're really good at careful. Really, really good at careful.
Are we?
Yeah, he looks a little bit skeptical.
He doesn't even know what we've been up to.
He does not, but he remembers teenage antimony too well for that. I know he looks at Antimony, he's like, I know you've outgrown mostly blowing things up by accident. Just
I only do it on purpose now.
Yeah.
We're not planning to blow anything up, and we're not going to joke about it in case it's used against us later in a court of law.
That's fair.
I would never tell. Cassia finishes whatever she's writing and she puts some papers together and puts them in like a folder or something, or just like wraps them up and ties them with something. And she says, if you're all my god, if you're all going out, could you take this to the guild hall for me? You can just leave it at the front desk. It's just some notes for the person who's taking over for me temporarily.
All right.
I'm not actually sure who they've assigned to take over my duties. But of course I'm in the middle of about 8 different things that won't make a lot of sense without some context.
All right. We will deliver the plan of work.
Thank you. It's her like substitute teacher lesson plan, basically. But yeah, she hands you the papers. You haven't heard anything from Aurelia, so either she's waiting patiently or something terrible has happened to her. One of the two.
One of the two.
Aurelia would never die.
I think at least if she died, she would probably leave us a trail of clues to follow.
Maybe. That's true. Should we go to the guild hall on the way to wherever we're going? I don't know.
I guess so. It's all town. It's all town.
Does Adakora seem like weirdly chipper, or is that just like Anna's voice for playing D&D?
It's probably just my voice.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't know I sounded weirdly chipper. But I'm happy to be here.
I feel like Adakora usually sounds a little chipper.
Ophelia was just gonna be like, what the fuck is up with you? Are you happy the wedding's over too? Or like, I mean, your mom's still in danger, but she won't actually say that.
You haven't said any of that to me?
Nope.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, Adakora is not weirdly chipper.
No.
Okay, so yeah, you guys can finish eating and head out if you would like.
Yes.
Okay, I think the guild hall is like vaguely on your way to the inn.
Is the paper in like a scroll or something?
No, it's like it's a lot of paper. It's like a big stack of papers, and they're sort of stacked on top of each other and tied with string. But they're like cover sheets over them.
I suppose if they're big stacks of documents, then Ophelia doesn't need to try and read them. They're probably
You can
just
if you want
boring.
to, but yeah.
Okay. I was hoping there would be like a manifesto in there, like, I know you did it, you asshole. Reveal yourself, or like, you know?
Do you want to look for one?
Hmm. Okay. I will at least like flip through a corner and see if there's any suspicious words or something.
Okay.
I imagine that I'm holding the stack and you kind of just grab it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay.
what are you doing?
Learning. Mind your own fucking business. Maybe
Okay,
I
make
want to be a fucking minor guardian later. You don't know.
Okay, as you're flipping through it, you like leave the string on there and stuff. You're just kind of
Yeah.
looking through the corners. Okay. Make an investigation check.
Okay. Natural 20, 25.
Oh my god.
That's a horrible thing
Okay.
to get a nat 20 on.
It really, wow, now I have to like think of something super interesting to tell you.
You can just tell Ophelia that she like learned how to be an expert minor guild operator.
Yep. Yeah, you
You
now
will never forget.
you are now prepared to take over administration of this mine.
I hand it back to Adakora. I'm
From
extremely
Cassia.
satisfied.
You flip through it and it is kind of it's mostly stuff that doesn't mean a whole lot to you. That seems like it's probably about administration. Like there's notes on notes about the rebuilding, which is still going on in the mine that was damaged, and like the reopening protocols and all of that. There's some stuff about the other. I think she manages like 3 mines or something. Um, so there's notes about those, which just have like normal things going on. One of them is a silver mine, and like the production schedule has been thrown out of whack a little bit by the war because not as many people are buying silver, so that's a whole issue. Um, and then you see so they're sort of divided up into sections like for each of the different mines, because she doesn't really know like if one person is going to take over all of her shit or if it's going to be multiple people or what. She has no idea. There's also a sealed envelope stuck in there, um, in the part that's for the damaged mine, and uh it has Erlen's name written on the back. It just says like give to Erlen Keller.
Is that the rich guy we hate?
No, that is the mine foreman
Oh.
that Cassia is friends with. The rich guy is Petrov.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, nothing in here is addressed specifically to him.
Good, because he's an asshole.
And he's like, so he owns the mines, and he is not allowed to like oversee them totally himself. He has to have like a guild approved person who's kind of managing things to make sure that like guild regulations are being respected. So he would not be allowed to take over administration of his own mines completely.
There's like a secret envelope in here, and I wish that I was just a little bit more of an asshole to like be willing to open this. She says that out loud because she's looking for like encouragement, you know?
We all kind of look at each other.
Yeah.
Is it like sealed with wax? Is wax like easy to maybe if we like just like touch the base of the wax seal with like fire or something, we can like just stick it back on?
It's sealed with wax. You could probably try that if you wanted to. I don't know if that's something you have experience with. But does anyone have like forgery or anything?
Good
Adakora
question.
should.
What like sketchy
What makes you
proficiencies
think
do you
that?
guys have?
I don't know.
Honestly, Hannelore might, but I don't think she's gonna tell you guys that. She is, yes, she is proficient in forgery.
I'm not.
Incredible.
She should just say she has experience because of all of her letter like writing.
Yeah. No, she doesn't say anything. She's just watching this. I don't know, it'd probably be like sleight of hand to get it open without damaging anything.
I also do have the mending cantrip. I don't know if that
Oh.
works for wax seals, but
I don't either.
If we like slice it with a knife instead of trying to peel it off, then the seal is broken. You know? Maybe the cantrip will like listen to us.
okay, let's see. So this spell repairs a single break or tear in an object you touch. As long as the break or tear is no larger than 1 foot in any dimension, you mend it, leaving no trace of the former damage. Hypothetically,
Okay.
we could cut open the envelope
Oh yeah.
and then just mend it.
Yeah, that's true. You do know that mending doesn't restore I think, well, okay, I think this happened in Critical Role one time. There was like a fucked up book and Jester mended part of it and it didn't restore the text. It was like just the paper.
Uh-huh.
So I think, but I think if you just like cut through it, it would knit back together and there wouldn't be any sign of it. As long as the paper didn't get like wet or something and like make the ink run. Like I don't think mending would affect that.
Yeah.
I was just imagining cutting it at the end, like with a letter opener or something. Like away from text and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think it's in an. Did I say it was in an envelope? I don't remember. I think it's probably just folded and sealed.
Oh.
But you could like cut along
We could just like cut around the stamp or the seal.
or
Right.
along one of the edges and just kind of open it sideways. Although that might get into some of the words. Are you guys walking as you discuss this, or have you like stopped in the middle of the road to contemplate?
I think there's something funny about us walking and talking. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Adacora doesn't think it's going to be that useful, but if you could do it without being obtrusive, I'm not going to stop you. That's where I stand on it.
I know, we feel like jackasses. Oh my god.
Let's do it. We deserve to know information, even if it's useless.
Okay. All right. So what part are you gonna cut open? Are you gonna like cut the seal or the letter?
Probably the letter, because wax is like, it's meant to be kind of broken down, so maybe the mending won't realize that it's supposed to be a seal. It'll just be like, yeah, these are 2 pieces of wax. What the fuck do you want me to do about it?
Okay. Yeah, that's true, and it's probably easier to like fuck up the stamp on it,
Yeah.
which may or may not be fixed by Monday. Okay, so yeah, so one of you can just take a knife, a dagger, whatever, if you have one, and cut one of the sides of the paper.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make you like something. Let's see. Probably like sleight of hand just to see how neat it is, the cut.
Adakura, open this.
My sleight of hand is not all that impressive.
You're not proficient in sleight of hand, are you?
I'm not.
I mean,
But
Might
do
be
you have
better
more
than
than +1?
yours.
Neither is Honolora, so like it's
It's better than a +1. I'm just saying. Do you want to guide me or something?
Oh, I guess so.
Oh yeah,
I'll
you
do
do have
it.
guidance.
I'll
Remind me
help
what that
him.
gives me if you help me.
Guidance is a D4.
Okay. All right. I will take out one of my daggers and kind of roll my eyes because I don't feel like this is going to be that helpful anyway. Plus, bad. 13 altogether.
Okay. All right. It's fine. You don't like fuck it up. It's a pretty neat cut.
Good job.
Yeah,
So
it looks like it looks fairly mendable.
I'll hand it back. This better crack the case wide open.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you skim the letter. Or you read the letter, Ophelia. It's a little bit of what you jokingly typed. That's not the whole letter, but there's definitely like, thank you for believing that I am not a part of this. um, hopefully this will all be resolved, but until then, I know that all the work we've been doing is in your capable hands. Um, okay, and then she goes on to say, I want you to keep a close eye on whoever is appointed to replace me in the interim. I don't have any evidence, but I don't trust Petrov. he's been pushing me to let him cut corners in regards to safety measures, and obviously I've said no. But I think he might have some hand in all this. No way I can prove it, but if whoever takes over for me starts, ignoring any guild regulations, tell me, and I'll bring it up with the guild. Is basically the gist of it.
I'm scribbling that down.
Yeah, Kasia's having an affair with her married coworker right
The
after
siblings
she
are
got
just
married.
traumatized.
Just like,
I should have done that. That would have been way funnier.
oh my god.
God, imagine like having an affair and then then your partner proposes, and instead of being like, actually, I'm in love with someone else, you're like, yep, I want to get married.
Well, maybe it's not an affair. Maybe Kasia and Taito are just polyamorous.
Or
Oh,
that, yeah.
yes.
That I could see that. That seems more likely. Because like Kasia has no reason to marry Taito if she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, there's
what's he bringing to the table, really? Like, she has all the money.
Yeah, Taito is a trophy husband. Let's be honest.
He really is. Yeah.
I assume we all pass around the letter and read it.
I like to think we're all like clustered around Ophelia and reading this letter over your shoulders while we're still walking.
Yep.
Just shuffling along the road. There's someone in a cart
Yeah.
behind us who's like, why do they have to be in the middle of the road?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're clumping up.
I don't think any of us were going to be like not suspicious of the new person, but like, sometimes mysterious notes that have additional hints can bolster our opinions and make us feel extra suspicious. So I think it was a good thing to read this, and now maybe Antimony can fix it, and we'll pretend we've never read it.
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna cast mending on the letter.
Okay. Yeah, from the outside it looks like it has never been tampered with. You can't really see what the text looks like because it's inside the letter, but yeah, as far as you can tell, looks good. Certainly does not look like it's been cut open.
We'll keep this in mind for the next 7 times we want to look at mail. That was a good strategy.
Well, has anyone thought of any better ways to get Petrov to talk?
Dangle him off a tall building.
I'd really like to.
Keel haul him.
Do you have any experience with that? I don't.
I've only
have a
like heard
keel?
of things,
Yeah, do you have a keel on you?
Well, we can go to Port Tamale.
We can go to Port Damali, but not from here.
That's true. Give me like 5 more levels and then maybe we could. actually don't know. Clerics get a teleporting spell, don't they?
Yeah, but it's very like tied to location.
Well, if the Cobalt Soul isn't a place of worship that we can teleport to, then I don't know what
I think
else.
you have to like pick it and set it up. It's a little bit like teleportation circle.
Yeah.
You have to like establish a spot as your spot to go to. But yes, perhaps one day. Well, we should probably pass this information along to Aurelia.
Eventually, we get to the guild hall.
Yeah.
Mulling this over. We do.
Yep, yeah, you get to the guild hall, you hand it to the person at the front desk and explain what it's for, and they're like, "Oh, yes. So make sure this gets to the right person."
Thank you. How long have we kept Aurelia waiting at this point?
What time did you guys get up?
I'd have gotten up in normal time, but you know me.
Right, yeah. What's like the earliest Ophelia is willing to get out of bed?
2 p.m., but she's able to get up earlier.
Okay.
So I don't know,
Okay.
like 8?
Okay, so you got up at 8, so it's probably like 9:30 at this point. What with eating and walking very slowly all the way here while you were reading a letter. But yeah, you keep going. You get to the inn, which is kind of on. I think I said it was near the like central street. Um, the street with the casinos. You don't have to deliver the letter to the mine foreman. I think it was supposed to whoever got that packet of things was supposed to like go give it to Erland because they are overseeing the mine where he works. Cassia was just like, nobody will open my sealed letter to my coworker. Who would do that?
Well,
Nobody would ever
we're
do
on your
such a
side,
thing.
Kasia, I promise.
Yeah. Only my children would do that, and I don't have anything to fear from them, so this is fine. um Yep, yeah, so you head to the inn. It's kind of in the less nice part of town, but it's close enough to that downtown like casino area that it's not super grungy. It's just kind of like a normal place. And then you go inside and you see Aurelia is just like sitting in the room. She looks like she ate breakfast a while ago and has just been kind of drinking something. She has a bunch of papers spread out all over her table. It's a very like college student cafe vibe. Like she has one cup of tea that she's been drinking for 2 hours. and has just been studying in here.
It's not even related to the case. She's got a midterm when she gets back to Rexendrum.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. She's like, I gotta fucking teach some undergrads when I get back.
Well, good morning.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, you didn't really give us a time from what I understand, so
I didn't. No, I know. I'm sorry. Ugh. Hang on, let me clean this stuff up. She starts kind of putting all of her papers back in a pile and closing her notebooks. And then she clears off the table and is like, sit down if you want. How was
I
the
do.
wedding?
It was nice, in spite of everything.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. As you if you like glance at any of her notes, do any of you read Draconic?
No.
Alas, no.
Okay. Yeah, pretty much everything is written in Draconic,
Mhm.
which you can only assume is her first language. Since she came from a town of mostly Dragonborn.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so you can't read any of her notes. You're not sure what they're about.
They're actually like recipes or something.
Yep, she's like, well, I've been writing this recipe book. It's my passion project, actually. But yeah, she finishes clearing everything up. She says, all right, we didn't not much progress was made in the investigation yesterday. I think, well, a lot of the relevant people were at the wedding. There were some searches done of the guild hall while it was going on, since most of the other rooms were empty, since everyone was at the wedding, pretty much.
Anything of interest found?
A little, nothing particularly, nothing new, really. Basically, they looked into the money that we found in the desk. Obviously, impossible to see where a given coin was being stored. But one of the guild members who was working with the Crown's Guard looked into the treasury, and of course they keep logs of these things. If people who are qualified, I guess, or yeah, who have the right credentials can requisition money from there. They find it out. They write their reasoning for doing so. And it looks like an amount of money equal to that we found had been taken from the treasury in the guild hall. And whoever took it signed Cassia's name.
Did they give a reason?
I believe it was to do with the repairs. The repairs in the mine that was set fire to. Nobody that we talked to actually saw her taking the money out, though. So it may not have actually been her.
Well, we didn't do any investigating, as you may imagine.
Of course not. Of course.
Uh, we did defraud her mail a little bit this morning.
Oh,
We'll
she
turn
looks
it over to
surprised.
describe
Aurelia's
what
like,
we found.
okay.
It's not really defrauding the mail if it's not in the post. We were just giving.
Yeah, it was a hand delivered letter. It was just snooping.
Yeah. But I will relay Kazuya's suspicions. Aurelia was with us when we visited Petrov
Yep.
personally.
Yeah, she was, and I think it was Ophelia was the one who was reading his thoughts, right?
Yes.
But you told everybody what you had heard,
Yep.
which was something to the effect of him having beef with one of his coworkers.
Oh yeah, I
I
called
don't
him
remember
useless.
specifically what I said, but it was something along those lines.
Yeah. So this corroborates with that.
I mean, yes, if this is all a scheme to frame her, I think he must be involved in some way. He's certainly rich enough to fund something like this. But I don't know how we can find proof short of finding somebody that specifically talked to him or breaking into his house.
We're really good at breaking into houses. So, you know.
Don't brag about that.
Aurelia looks at you like she's not sure if you're joking or not. Like she's just kind of, because, Ophelia says most things in the same tone.
She
So
just
she's
smiles
just
at
like,
Adakora.
well, I don't really have the jurisdiction for that, I'm afraid.
So you're saying you can't arrest us if we break into someone's house?
No, I mean I can't get us
She can't
into his house.
unarrest us.
Well,
Yes, I can't legitimize your breaking into someone's house. Unfortunately.
can you get it? Aren't you? Don't you have connections?
I would need a little more proof, I think. By which I mean any proof at all. And not just suspicions. Right. The most junior annex. And, well, I mean, the reason people like me investigate these things is because the Archmage has more important things to deal with. Was that a dig at Torkel? Because he's very supportive.
Yeah, an ironic dig at Torkel because he is very supportive.
Okay. Ophelia does like to pretend he's not.
That's, yeah. We could like stake out his house and see if people like visit him or something. I don't know. But that didn't really go too well the last time. I don't know how we feel about staking out things.
What do you mean the last time?
Some jackass was like sneaking around the guild hall or something, but we couldn't like follow them because I guess they were too sneaky or whatever. So, you know,
Okay,
it's
so
kind of demoralizing.
You didn't stake out Petrov Sour's house without telling me.
No, just the guild hall.
Okay. She looks a little relieved.
We're not wild cards. You didn't recruit the worst possible. It wasn't a mistake that you kept us on the case when we had a clear conflict of interest.
We're so reliable.
Ophelia.
Yep.
Great, Aurelia. It's going great.
Uh-huh.
Do we want to like see who the new person is even? Like that feels... Can't believe we just dropped off the did we drop off the documents?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Can't believe we just dropped off the documents and didn't even inquire.
They might not have appointed anyone yet.
I feel like that's like important though, isn't it? Like to, especially if it's only like temporary, because I mean, what if she's innocent tomorrow? Then all those documents would be useless, you know? Maybe Petrov is the replacement. He wouldn't do that because he's rich.
Well, you know he's not allowed to also.
That doesn't stop politicians from trading stocks, so...
God.
Oh my god.
Well.
Yep. Sure doesn't. Oh boy. Ophelia, do you have Zone of Truth prepared?
Is that Aurelia asking?
Yes.
Ironically, I remember that I didn't prepare new spells and I was gonna take it off, but I haven't actually done anything yet. So of course I do.
Okay.
Why would I ever take it off when we need it? So clearly.
Well, we can't use it to try and exonerate Cassia, unfortunately. There are very specific rules about the use of that spell in a legal capacity. And unfortunately, you're not qualified. But I was thinking, I'm sure that the Watchmaster would let me talk to Felix again. And we could just confirm his story as much as possible. I don't think he's lying, but it would be good to know for sure.
Yes. How does one become like qualified to do that shit?
Well, I think there's only a handful of clerics in the Empire who are approved for it.
Oh, so it's like a government approved thing? Okay.
Yes.
Might as well kick that dream to the curb.
Yes, it's usually people who are high ranking in their particular religious orders and therefore are working for the government. I mean, well, the Empire keeps keeps a pretty close eye on all religious institutions here. I'm surprised that there are clerics in the Cobalt Soul, to be honest.
It's a little weird. You think like a society around a god wouldn't have clerics?
No, I suppose it makes sense.
There's not a lot of us, but like, and I guess we're not as effective at truth stuff as some people, like monks, who can just fucking punch the shit out of. Anyway, like, what were we saying? We're going to Felix.
Yes, yes, and I think I might also just keep an eye on what he's thinking at the same time.
Okay.
And the two of us together would certainly be able to tell if he was holding anything back.
Okay. I will save my thinky thoughts for someone cooler, like Adakora.
Because, I mean, of course, a zone of truth doesn't keep him from not saying things.
Yeah.
But maybe if we bring up whatever we want to know about and he holds something back, he might be thinking about it, and then I would be able to tell.
That's true.
That was my thought.
It's worth a shot.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Does she have more papers to clean up? We shuffle all the papers together.
She put everything away while that conversation was going on. Okay, yeah, you guys head over to the Crown's Guard headquarters, where Felix is still being held. They haven't put him in regular jail yet because they don't want anyone to know that he's in custody.
Staying out of regular jail by the skin of his teeth.
Yep. Yeah, because they're trying not to alert whoever may be framing Cassia that they have Felix in custody. So that's still going on. Yeah, so he's still just kind of in the same like room that he was in before. And yes, the Watchmaster lets you in to talk to him. Or she like you all get like sent into a meeting room and they God. And Felix comes in, some Crown's Guard bring him in. He looks okay. Just kind of dejected. He doesn't look like anything awful has happened to him since you last saw him.
Well,
But he's just kind of a wilted wizard. But he kind of looked like that before. when you brought him here, so. But yeah, you all can just sit down at the table. And Felix says, "Hello again. What do you want?" "We're going to ask you a few more questions," says Aurelia, "and maybe just confirm some of the things you've already told us. Ophelia, will you cast the spell?"
Okay.
All right, and I think tell me how it works. What's the range on it?
It's
like a radius, right?
The rest of us
Yes.
sit a certain distance away.
Yeah.
15 feet radius.
Okay.
So
yeah,
probably
so
the whole room.
it's most of the room. Yeah, you guys can get. I think Aurelia is gonna stand out of it because she wants to be able to like lie to Felix while she's talking to him if she has to. You know, since she's gonna be the one asking the questions. You could, yeah, there's probably room for all of you guys to like not be in it if you don't want to be, but it's pretty close.
Are you like gonna resist the zone of truth, or are you gonna like accept it?
You asking Felix?
Yeah.
He just sighs. I mean, there's not really much point, is there?
Okay, yeah, because I would have like spent all my spell slots bestowing a curse on you, and that would not be ideal, to be fucking honest.
Oh
So
my god.
okay, I will just cast Zone of Truth then.
Okay, and how long does Zone of Truth last?
10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes. Great. Let's see, how long does I think Detect Thoughts is also 10 minutes? No, it's like a minute. How long is Detect Thoughts? 1 minute. Okay. All right, so she will kind of use that when she wants to. When she thinks something relevant might be happening.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, Aurelia kind of goes through, and yeah, Felix doesn't resist the saving throw. You know that he's right because you can tell if somebody's affected by it or not. Okay, that's what I thought. Yep, he does not resist. He fails the save and just sort of sits there and crosses his arms and is like, "All right." Aurelia asks him kind of the same things that she had asked him in the warehouse. So yeah, he gives you guys mostly the same answers. He says that, he was paid by this guy whose name he doesn't know. He describes the guy, you get the same description. He was in town in that warehouse trying to get the second half of his money. He doesn't know the name of the person who is behind it. As far as he knows, the letter that he was given was allegedly written by the person who paid him. Doesn't have any way of tracking down the person that brought him the job, but would recognize him if he saw him. That kind of thing. Describes the parameters of the job, and nothing that he's saying is a lie, Ophelia. At a certain point, Aurelia kind of turns to the rest of you and is like, "All right, does anyone have any questions that I've forgotten? Or anything that you thought of?"
Are you like a successful criminal, or is this like your first time getting caught?
Felix kind of squints at you And he says, I am a successful criminal, and this is my first time getting caught.
How long have you
So
been doing criminal things?
I guess I was a successful criminal until now.
Do you do you consider
my
yourself
God.
like washed up, or
Okay, wait. How old did I say he's like in his late 30s, I think. I'm trying to find my Felix notes. Okay, here we go. Okay, late. Yeah, he did magic school. You guys have kind of figured that out, but clearly doesn't go to magic school anymore.
Same.
How long have I been a criminal? He thinks about it for a second. I don't know. Maybe 10 years?
do you have a tragic backstory that like made you turn to criminality, or are you just like normal?
I wouldn't call it particularly tragic.
Is there like anything you're not telling us that you want to tell us? Or, well, I guess anything you haven't told
No.
us that you don't want to tell us
About what?
about, this whole thing.
About this job? No.
Yeah.
There's nothing that I don't want to tell you. I would love to get the bastard who stiffed me caught.
Can you like repeat that sentence? Because that was very funny. And I like the way that it was said.
He said, I would love to get the bastard who stiffed me caught.
Ophelia was asking him to say it again because it was just
Right.
funny.
Amazing. He says it again. He's still telling the truth. Yep.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't know how to scry. Otherwise, I would have led you to him by now.
What kind of a wizard are you?
I mostly do crime.
Crime wizards don't scry? Like, isn't that
cool crime? I mean, I'm an evocation specialist, if that's what you wanted to know.
So what, did you only buy like the cheap evocation spells? Like, are you like a cheapskate, or like doesn't crime pay? Why don't you have scrying?
I just never learned it. There are a lot of spells.
How many spells do you know?
I don't know the answer to this. A normal number of spells for a high-level wizard. Probably a few less than if he had like still been in academia, but let's see how many spells is this motherfucker now.
If we like let you help us and like let you be free for like 2 days so you could help us, would you, or would you just like run away like a coward?
I mean, if I ran away, I don't think I would get very far. He glares at Aurelia a little bit.
Way to not answer the question, jackass. You're never getting free.
Oh no.
Yes, I would help you.
Oh, really? Wow.
Why not? The assembly is probably just going to lock me up after this anyway. If I can spend another 2 days walking around this town, that's something.
I have a question. If Ophelia's done flirting.
Excuse me? Okay.
Do you have any criminal contacts in the city? I know you're not local, but any like anyone you know, anyone any sense of where in Druvenlode your name might be known?
Hmm. Well, I have a couple of acquaintances. My specific skill set is not one that your average criminal can afford. Most of the people who hire me are quite wealthy and are willing to pay for my very specialized abilities. Um, hey, Aurelia's not an amateur. She's a lot higher level than you guys are, actually. Because she had to be to know scrying. She's like the minimum level she could be to know how to scry.
Also, it's literally her job.
She does work for the Cerberus Assembly. Yeah. He said, let's see. So I don't tend to be very chummy with lower level criminals. And I move around a lot. I don't stay in one city for very long ever. But there are a couple of people that I know here who have pointed me in the general direction of jobs.
Do you have their names?
Yes. Hang on, I gotta make up some NPC names. Um, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's uh, somebody who gambles at the Sterling Satchel. I don't know exactly what his role is in the local underground, but I think he's in on the gambling. I think he might be a part owner of the place, although he's very vague about it. He's a dwarf. His name is Einar. That's about all I've got, but he's usually there. He's not hard to find.
All right.
Whatever he does, he's seems to be connected to the wealthier element. Probably through the casino, I'm not sure. I haven't spent a lot of time in this town. It's kind of an odd one. The criminals are very insular here.
Hmm.
Everyone else is mostly, I don't know, people who own taverns and things, places that I've stayed. He's probably the most relevant. But we're not close or anything. I mean, he doesn't owe me. So you might go to him and get nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Would we like get more if maybe you were there?
Maybe. I suppose I could go and tell him that I'm looking for someone who didn't pay me everything that I was owed and ask if he could help me track them down.
Ophelia like looks at Aurelia a lot.
Aurelia looks a little bit. She's thinking about it.
Would it like bring you joy to like kick the ass of the person who didn't actually pay you and got you into this mess?
Yes.
Ophelia looks at Aurelia again.
Is he telling the truth? Says Aurelia.
Well, he can't say a direct lie. That's what the spell stops him from doing.
Oh, that's. Can he not say it, or can you just tell if
On a
he's lying?
failed
I
save,
can't
a creature
remember.
can't speak a deliberate lie.
Aha! Okay, great, perfect. Okay. All right. I'll talk to the Watchmaster. You stay in here. She points at Felix. Let's talk outside. She kind of leaves and wants all of you to follow her.
Okay.
Yes, we will go.
Well, what do you all think?
Well, sounds like it might be the best lead we have at the moment.
I think so too. Now we just have to convince the Watchmaster.
Did you like do your spell or did you get anything?
I did near the end. He seemed like he was being pretty honest. I think he might not know this fellow at the casino as well as he claims to. But really is the only lead we have. I don't know any criminals here. And he does think that this dwarf might know something, so, or might be able to find whoever paid him. All right, will you all help me talk the Watchmaster into this? I don't know how well she's going to take it. Aria's charisma is not very high.
Yeah, well, we can make a case.
She's awkward and she knows it. Okay. All right, let's go talk to her. Okay, so you head back to the Watchmaster's office. Watchmaster Theramast, who I think is a human woman? I don't remember. You've met her a couple of times. Yep, she's a human. All right, and she's just doing things. She looks up and says, "Well, did you get anything else out of him?" A little, says Aurelia. Um, he doesn't know a lot of the people here in the local criminal underworld. It seems like he moves around quite a bit. But he did give us a name of someone who might be able to help identify the person who paid him. I was hoping that you would consider releasing Felix into my custody briefly so that he can go and talk to this person. I'll monitor him, of course, and I have the means to find him if he tries to escape.
We think we'll have a better chance of getting any information if he's the one doing the talking.
The Watchmaster kind of thinks about it. I thought the point of keeping him here was so that no one knew he'd been caught. But I suppose if... Do you think you can trust him not to spill that information? Do you think he's going to go to this person, this contact, and say, I've been made, and I would like to get out of town?
He knows he can be found even if he gets out of town. That's all we can really say for sure.
I suppose he must be familiar enough with wizard's abilities, being one himself. Do you have any means of disguising him? I don't know that... I mean, it wouldn't be ideal if he was seen in town by someone.
I just imagine. Oh my god! Every time I think
Are
about
you?
the
Hell yeah.
disguise kit, I'm just imagining this time that Anna and I were in a game, and we put a clown suit on an NPC because it was in the disguise kit or something like that.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Amazing. Now, Felix doesn't have disguise self. I feel like he probably knows it, but he doesn't have it prepared today, because why would he? That seems like a spell he would know. He's always fucking sneaking around.
What spells did he prepare then? Like sleeping in jail? Relentless boredom?
I think he just hasn't changed his spells in a while. I think, yeah, he's just like, fuck, what's the fucking point?
Probably doesn't even have his books.
Yeah, they probably did take away his books. He probably can't change them. He can't study.
If he were a religious man, he wouldn't need books. So,
well,
you
he's
know.
not. Okay. do you tell the Watchmaster that you're proficient in disguise kit? Or something to that effect?
Yeah, I don't know how to say that. I've never actually.
I don't think Aurelia has like a lot of illusion stuff. She mostly has seeing through illusion magic. That's what she's into.
I mean, like, I have disguise self, but that's not gonna help him.
It's not. Okay, I'm gonna have Adacor make a persuasion check.
Okay. Yes. Oh. Dirty 20.
Okay. All right. The Watchmaster considers this and is all right. Just bring him back here at the end of the day. I know you could probably find him, but I don't want to have to waste time tracking him down again. Aurelia says, understood. We'll keep a very close eye on him. And I do think I don't think he has any loyalty to this person. He's very disgruntled about not having been paid the full amount that he was promised. Quinn kind of snorts. Now that I would believe. All right, I am releasing him into your custody annex. He's your responsibility until you bring him back. And Aurelia says, thank you. Watchmaster. And she heads out. All right, so you've got a Felix.
We've got a Felix.
What would you like to do with him?
Oh no.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Should we just go to the place and see if the dwarf whatever is there? We should tell
Why
him that
not?
he's free for one day.
Yeah, let's go. So okay, yeah, you go back to the room.
We gotta retrieve him.
Yep, Felix is still in the meeting room. He looks bored. And yeah, really, it's like, all right, you've been released to help us for the day. He sits up a little straighter. He's like, all right. Am I going to get my books back or what? Aurelia kind of looks at you guys. Should we give him his stuff back?
No, we're not doing that.
I don't think we should risk it. I don't. Okay, how do spellbooks work? Can a wizard not cast anything without their spellbook, or because it's not the same as an arcane focus, or is it just that you can't like swap your spells without it?
I think it's not swap.
I think if you like have them prepared for the day, you just have them, right? But he probably wouldn't be able to cast anything that requires material components because you're not going to let him have any component. Which does give him a skill.
He needs the components or the focus to cast.
Yeah.
I don't think the spell book is everything except cantrips. So I don't know. I think it's just for preparing.
Okay, great. All right, yeah. So he'll be able to cast some of his spells, the ones that don't require material components. But yeah, you make him leave all of his magical stuff behind.
Now, are we going to disguise him?
Put a mustache on him.
Do you
I was
have
saying we could like wash his hair. We could go like make him look a little fancier, and then no one will know.
That might work pretty well.
Do I actually have a disguise kit, or am I just proficient? That's such a good question.
I mean, why don't take a look at your like starting equipment, because it might give you one.
I don't think I have one. I've got.
Does the spy starting equipment give you a disguise kit? It might.
It gives me thieves' tools, but I don't see disguise kit.
Okay. Just the proficiency?
It's weird. It's a little odd.
All right. Yeah, Honolulu probably doesn't have hers on her, because why would she? But you guys can like try to find some other clothes and things and disguise him a little bit if you want. Could take him back to the house and like dress him up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Give him a bath, clean him up. Like, just put him in like a nice turtleneck and like ponytail, and he won't look the same. He can shave or something.
Aurelia's kind of looking at him, just like, that's not a bad idea. Felix just has his arms crossed. He looks grumpy. But I wouldn't say no to a bath.
Yeah, let's clean up. Let's see how well you clean up.
It's just gonna make Ophelia's thing worse.
Yeah.
I can't
Great
believe you
pick.
have
A man destined for prison.
Yup. And a Cerberus assembly member.
Know how to pick them. At least you'll always know where to find him.
Ophelia's crush gallery.
Yeah. That one, the Jorhasian spy, got that one.
Michelle.
Also in prison.
Also in jail. Eleni, maybe?
Maybe. She's not in jail though, so.
No, she's like the most normal.
Yeah.
One.
It's the sense of danger that gets you.
True,
Yep.
true.
Okay, so what are you guys gonna like take him back to the inn? Are you gonna take him home?
The inn's probably closer.
Yeah, the inn sounds good.
Do they have like a bath?
Yeah, they would have bath stuff. If you want to get him different clothes, though, you'd have to go get those someplace else.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
what if I ran back and got clothes, and you guys took him to the inn and cleaned him up? Or someone else ran home to get clothes. You know, whoever, somebody.
Aurelia's like, I think that's probably the best idea. It would be weird if we took him to your house.
Yeah, and I think probably the less he's walking around looking like himself, the better. Just throw a hood over him for now.
Yes, we'll get you. He could wear a cloak.
We could grab some makeup from home.
All right, I'll take him back to the inn. Who wants to come with me?
I will go.
Oh my god.
Thank you for your noble sacrifice, Ophelia.
You're so welcome.
All right.
All right, I'm going back to the house, so... They can accompany me if they like.
All right. Antimony, where are you going?
Oh boy. I don't know. I feel like maybe I'll go with Adakora in the interest of not being privy to whatever this is.
You're like, the vibes are getting a little weird between Ophelia and the wizards. So you're like,
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know if
gonna.
I want to be involved in that.
She's just having fun
Okay.
bullying him, and everybody else is like, oh, there's something going on here.
It's hard to tell what the vibe is. There's just a weird vibe. Hannelore is going to offer to go buy everyone some sandwiches or something. It's probably like coming up on lunchtime. So she splits off from the rest of you and is like, I'm gonna go buy some lunch. I'm gonna bring it to the inn.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, Adakora and Antimony, you head home.
Break. Yes. Getting clothes for him, and I presume there's some makeup. We might as
Probably.
well.
I'm sure someone in this house wears makeup. Yeah. All right, what kind of clothes do you get?
We're not doing a repeat of the clown outfit, Izzy.
Oh God. All right.
We don't want him to stand out. We just want him to look
Yeah.
different.
I mean, I guess we could just grab something from Adakora's closet, right? I mean,
I think he's a little bit shorter. You're probably better off with
yeah.
Tito's stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll
I think Felix is probably even shorter than Tito, but
Yeah.
steal
that's a
some of my
better.
dad's clothes while
Yeah.
he's slow.
Mhm.
Yeah, your parents are still just kind of in the living room, like doing whatever. They're just like reading or something. And they kind of look as you come in. They're like, oh, you're back already?
Briefly.
Oh, all right.
I'm not gonna explain. I'm just gonna keep walking.
Yeah, they just let you do whatever. They don't ask. Okay, so you get some of Tito's clothing, sort of everyday clothes, which are
Yeah.
much nicer than whatever the hell Felix wears every day. Which I think Felix does on purpose because he doesn't want to stand out. He's just like, I'm gonna look like a normal grubby motherfucker. But yeah, Taito has a slightly higher budget when
Yeah.
it comes to clothing.
And I'll get a razor while we're here.
Good idea.
I don't know. Probably like he probably takes different kinds of hair clippers than I'm used to using.
Probably.
Different hair texture, but I might grab something anyway.
Are you gonna cut his hair?
His hair's kind of ratty.
It is kind of ratty.
Oh my God.
If he doesn't want to, we won't. We'll just put it up in a ponytail or something.
All
But I'm
right.
gonna come prepared.
Okay. Yeah, you get whatever you have. You could probably get
Why am
like
I kind of excited about giving him a makeover?
wizard. Yeah, this turned into like wizard makeover time, which is not really what I was expecting from today. Yeah, you. Yep. Yeah, you can get all that stuff.
I would never
God, yeah,
cut
he's like
Caleb's hair. Not
this is
ever.
Caleb if his life had gone in a super different direction. Like he was not tortured as a teenager. He just like thought school was kind of dumb. And he wasn't. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so you get all this stuff. As you leave, Taito looks up and he's like, are those my clothes?
Yes.
All right.
Don't worry. There's something going on.
All right. Okay.
You've got plenty of clothes, Dad.
I do. I don't mind. just they're not going to fit you, probably. I think you're a little bit too tall for them.
Oh, well. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't stop you.
I don't want to have to explain out loud that we're giving a wizard a makeover.
Yeah, I think he's like, whatever they're doing, it's gonna take too long to explain, and I don't really want to know anyway. My children are adults now. They can do weird schemes for themselves.
Exactly.
Okay, Ophelia and Aurelia and Felix head back to the inn. Aurelia still has a room there. I think she's just been staying there she stayed there last night. Yeah. He's like, you haven't been able to wear my clothes since you were like 50. Like, you've been taller than me for a long time. Yeah, you guys you guys go up to the room that Aurelia has rented. She asks for a bath. The staff, yeah, they like bring up a basin. You guys get some water. You can warm it up a little more with magic, which is nice. And then Felix is like, all right, oh, okay. You get some soap and stuff for him, and he like, it's like, all right, will you two leave now? And Aurelia's like, yeah, sure, and turns around to leave.
Ophelia follows because she's not a fucking weirdo.
Okay, good. I was like, I don't think she would. Okay, so yeah, you guys leave. You wait maybe 20 minutes. Felix comes back downstairs. He's wearing like not the same clothes he was wearing in jail. It's like cleaner, but still slightly bad clothes. And his hair is wet, and he looks much cleaner. But still shaggy. He does need to shave. His hair is like a couple of days. His beard is a couple of days overgrown. Like it looks like he didn't shave for 3 days instead of like him deliberately having stubble. And then you guys arrive soon after. Hannelore probably gets back before this, and she takes all of the sandwiches up to the bedroom. Yeah, and you guys can have like a weird little party in Aurelia's hotel room where you eat sandwiches and give Felix a makeover.
It's a weird day. It's been a weird week. This is where we are now.
Yep. Okay, but yeah, he, shaves, combs his hair. He does not want his hair cut. The clothes fit him okay. They're like a tiny bit too big, but not enough that it's super wacky looking.
Mm-hmm.
And you can kind of tuck things in so that they don't look that weird. And he looks pretty good. He does not look like the same grubby motherfucker that you first saw in the Silver Satchel a couple of days ago.
Nice. How does Ophelia feel about it?
I don't know. I did not design this character to be Pinterested.
Wow.
He's just the crime wizard. This is definitely look, I designed certain NPCs that I personally think are hot, and he is not one of them.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
We need to bring back Ophelia's hot coworker, the tiefling.
oh fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
thinking about that.
Well, yeah, you guys have just not been in Rexentrum, which is yeah, he's like Atakora's boss now, technically.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
right.
He's your like direct supervisor. Which doesn't really mean anything because you guys are both out doing whatever the fuck all the time. But yeah. Yep, yeah. Now that's a character that I designed to be hot for sure.
Reese. His name is Reese.
Yeah, Expositor Reese, Sahar,
Yeah.
honestly, Kalina. I mean, I guess if you're into that. He's just kind of an old man.
I wish we had Sahar with us now. I don't think she would be able to help, but it would be nice.
Yeah, I don't know how useful she would be, but
But she was
Yeah.
friend shaped.
Yeah.
she was.
We'll see Sahar again someday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume you'll get to that part of the world again one of these days. Okay, you have a clean wizard. And are you guys gonna head to the casino?
Yes, I think we are, with our wizard in tow.
All right.
Are we all going into the casino? That might be a little conspicuous.
That's a good point. Hmm.
Especially if we're pretending that he was not caught.
Yeah. I suppose we could go in like groups, right? Like we could send Felix in and a couple of the rest of us loiter at a nearby table or something, you know?
Aurelia says, I think I will stay outside. I did this the last time when we were looking for Felix. I can kind of monitor the room from outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then it won't be I think if anybody in there has figured out who I am and I'm even in the building at the same time as Felix, it'll be a little suspicious.
Good call.
But none of you are like actually officially here to investigate this. So I think if you're in there, it's probably fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll be too suspicious if like Adakora and I are just hanging out here.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so Aurelia will hang out outside, probably just like on a bench like she did last time. What spell did I use? I think it's Arcane Eye. Okay, I don't. Arcane Eye can't see, it's just visual. So she could also do. What's the one where you can see? Um, I think that's Clairvoyant. Or that's the one where you can hear, rather. Okay, she's probably just going to use Arcane Eye because that one you can move around. And she's going to rely on Felix to, or you guys in there to overhear Felix's conversation. Because the problem with Clairvoyant is you can't move the sensor, you just have to put it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And if she puts it in the wrong place and she just can't hear, like if it's on the other side of the room and she can't hear anything, then she's kind of fucked.
I can also message her to say what's happening if something goes very awry. So
That's true. Okay, she's like, yes, please do that. I don't want to have to burst in there, but if I do, if I have to, I will. If I have to burn down a casino, I will do it.
Let's just hope it doesn't come to that.
Let's hope not.
by the end of this trip that was supposed to be for a wedding, there are only 2 buildings left standing in Truvenload. Everything else is burned down.
Oh no. Okay, do any of you want to try to go in with Felix and like pose as a friend of his or something, or do you want to try to be nearby so you can hear what they're saying?
I don't think posing as a friend would go that well. I was just thinking maybe sitting nearby and trying not to look conspicuous.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess my concern is that, like, Adakora and I might be recognizable in Truvenload.
That's probably true, yeah.
Like, not like celebrity status, but I feel like people whose job it is to know
Yeah.
people in Truvenload might be like, oh yeah, those are the kids of, like, a major person in the mining guild.
And I think there's at least one person who works here that knows Adakora.
Yeah, we've established that.
Mhm.
Because you talked to her about Felix
Mhm.
before.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a very awkward possibility that we go in there and that person's like, "Oh yeah, isn't that wizard who stiffed your friend?" And I'm like, "Oh right, that lie I told." So,
Yeah.
so I don't want to do. I don't really.
We worked all that out. It's fine now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
say we
no,
worked it out.
it's cool. It's cool.
It's all good.
Friends.
Yeah, we're friends now. It's fine. All right. How much time do we have? I can't remember. Is it 5:30 Eastern we got to be done? Which is an hour from now,
I think that would be good.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
In that ballpark anyway. Okay.
Now here's so Ophelia has the highest perception.
Yeah.
So if it's someone's going to sit in there and try to listen in but not be right at his table with him, it should be Ophelia because she can actually do that.
I guess I do also have the secret casting. Oh, my.
That's true too. Yeah.
I do also have the secret reading thoughts.
Yep, you do. Okay. So are you guys going to kind of split up? and just be in different parts of the room? Or do you want to, as a group, be near Felix?
Well, I don't want to be alone.
I'm just worried about being conspicuous and making Zynar suspicious. So I feel like maybe it's better that only like 2 people go in there to watch Felix.
Okay, and the others just kind of hang around in another part of the room?
Yeah. Maybe. What thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't want to make anybody too suspicious of us. Aurelia is staying outside
Yep,
like last time, right? So,
she is, yes. And I think Hannelore going to offer to stay outside with her because when she's in the spell, she like can't see what's happening in front of her. So
yeah.
if somebody needs to like shake her out of it, Hannelore can do that.
Antimony can come with me. Thanks for volunteering.
Okay, so you guys are gonna hang out together and try to listen in, and then Adakor is gonna go do something else.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I can come in with Adakora if that's better.
I don't know. I should probably be in there just so I can get a message to Aurelia. It doesn't really matter what I do, I guess. Just as long as
Mhm.
I can tell if something's going very, very badly wrong.
Oh yeah, and I can talk to you if you're inside, I suppose. If you're
Yeah.
within 60 feet.
Oh yeah, telepathically, that's true.
Yeah. So that's the plan.
Okay, Felix is like, all right, I'm going to go in first. Give me like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. That'll be plenty of time to figure out whether or not he's actually in there. If he's not, I'm just going to come back out. If he is coming after me, and wherever I'm sitting, whoever I'm with, that's going to be Einar. Here, this is his name.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, do whatever you want. I'm not going to be looking at any of you.
Good.
It's your favorite thing, yeah. Love a man who doesn't look at me. Okay. Okay, so yeah, Felix goes in. Aurelia and Honolora sit on the bench. Aurelia casts her spell, which lasts, I don't know how long. 1 hour. Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, she casts the spell and she kind of is like, all right, he's in there. He's getting a drink. He's looking around. It looks like he's found somebody. He's sitting with someone. And yeah, sure enough, you wait 5 minutes and he has not come back out.
I guess I'm supposed to go in.
You and Antimony are going in. together and just doing your thing.
We're just gonna hang out.
Just
Yeah.
gonna hang out.
Okay. We can find a table first then, I suppose, and then maybe get a drink or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. I think I'll cast enhance ability for percept wisdom.
On yourself.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so you do that right before you go in. How long does that last?
An hour.
Nice. Okay, yeah, you cast your spells. You two head inside. You look around and you see Felix. He is sitting kind of in the back corner, just an area with a bunch of tables. It's not super crowded in here right now. It's like 1 p.m., so it's not really peak hours. But they're, the tables are kind of sporadically filled up, and there's a few people playing games. But he's sitting at a small table with a dwarf, a male dwarf with dark hair and a long dark beard that's kind of shot through with gray. He's pretty well dressed. He's wearing not a ton of jewelry, but like some very well made pieces of silver jewelry. And they both have drinks in front of them, and they look like they're just talking kind of casually. But yeah, there's a couple of open tables near enough to them that you could sit at where it wouldn't be like super weird. That you're like, you don't have to sit right next to them necessarily. You can sit a little
Right.
farther away if you want.
Yeah, I feel like it would probably be a little weird if we sat right
Right.
next to them.
Mm.
Yep. And there's probably actually two people sitting at the table right next to them who are like not interacting with them, but look like they're maybe
Suspiciously
body-
there for a
yeah.
reason.
yeah, like bodyguards of some kind. They look kind of tough and business-like. Yeah, they don't really look like they're there to have fun. They're just kind of sitting and not talking.
I'll like try
But yeah.
to sit in a like way that's like so that antimony is like right in front of the person, like a little bit off to the side, so that like if I'm looking at antimony, I can see the person. Because
Okay.
Ophelia can read lips still, so
Right. Okay, so you're trying to be able to see Einar or Felix?
Einar. Though I don't know, Felix could be a backstabbing, two-faced bastard. Probably Einar. Because he told
Okay.
the truth. I trust him. Maybe.
Maybe.
Much trust.
So truth. Okay, so yeah, you two sit down. You're within earshot of them too. They're not talking very loudly. But there's a chance you'll be able to hear what they're saying if you roll reasonably well. Adakor, are you coming in after them?
Yes.
All right, yeah, you head in. You see this sort of seating arrangement that they've set up. And where would you like to be?
I do have to look at you to send the telepathy, so.
I was thinking I'd just play one of the games or something and just within sight. I'm not trying to listen in so much as just keep an eye on things.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
Okay, you play one of the games. Ophelia and Antimony, you get some drinks and go to your table. And I'm gonna have both of you roll perception checks.
Okay. It was almost a natural 20, but 22.
Wow.
Oh my god, I got a 22 as well.
Wow.
Hey.
Amazing. Okay, you guys are you're paying such close attention. Okay, and yeah, Ophelia, you can also read Einar's lips to a degree, but you don't really need to be because you can pretty much hear what they're saying also. It helps that yeah, you should. It helps that it's not super loud in here just because it's not very crowded. And they're not whispering or anything. They're not like, they look like they're having a casual conversation. Yeah, there's too many spies in here already. So many spies. Okay. God. Okay, so yeah, you sit down, you get comfortable, and you hear kind of it's clear they've been talking for a little while already. You may have missed a little bit of information. Felix will maybe tell you later, but they seem to be discussing a specific person. They've already it kind of sounds like Felix has already explained his problem, and they are now discussing someone who they think might be the person that gave Felix the job, or the person who brought the job to his attention. Um. Oh. And yeah, you hear Felix is kind of describing him. It's like, yeah, he was average height, a little bit bulky, blonde hair, uh, blue eyes, dressed pretty ordinarily. He had a crooked nose, though. That was his most defining characteristic. Einar says, well, that could describe any number of people in this town. Even the broken nose is a little less distinctive than it might seem at first. But I can think of a few people in in that specific line of work who could match that description. One of them's a smuggler. At least he mostly is involved in smuggling. Seems like he's dabbling in other things these days. I've never known him to be a go-between for anyone rich. He's mostly just involved in the honest trade of moving things illegally. But you could talk to him or just take a look, see if you recognize him. I wonder who he would be working for. It's interesting that I haven't heard about that. About him getting paid to do a little something extra. Do you have any suspicion of who's behind it? He asks. Felix as well. Oh, hang on.
Hi.
What?
Hi, everybody. What's up?
Not
No, it's
much.
fine. Oh, hello.
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 Sorry, I just wanted to see my wife,
Valid.
but I saw her, So I'm satisfied now. Goodbye.
All right. Can you
Bye.
give me? Thank you. Ah. Okay. Mm. Reading your messages. Um. Yeah. Felix is like, well, I'm not super familiar with the movers and shakers of this town, but the person who owns the mine.
Milady.
Thank you. He seems like, well, I'm not sure what he would have to gain from this, but I've heard he's involved in some stuff. I'm wondering about him. Petrov Sour. Kleiner kind of raises an eyebrow. Petrov Sour. Well, the man's certainly trouble, but we don't really deal with him here. He's, well, everybody knows he's got myriad ties, and we don't welcome that in our town. So if this particular smuggler is working with Petrov Sour, well, that could be useful. Not that that necessarily means he's also working for the Myriad. I'll keep an eye on him. Here, I'm going to write down his name and where you can find him. And he takes out a piece of paper and writes something on a note to Felix.
I've probably sent most of this conversation to Adakora.
Okay.
I've been like, ooh, myriad. Wow. Evil confirmed.
Okay, yeah. So Adakora, you're getting this mostly, at least the the summary.
Mm-hmm.
And Ophelia and Antimony can both hear all of this. But yeah, Einar's like, yeah, Sour doesn't mess with our business, and we leave him alone. He hasn't so far tried to help the Myriad get a foothold in this town. I think his links to them are not. I don't think it's certainly not the only thing he's involved in. He has plenty of legitimate business as well, but he's got some ties. Hasn't caused any trouble for us yet, though. But after this, we'll have to keep a closer eye on him. Well, Felix, good luck. Let me know if you learn anything else. Felix says, well, yes, I'm hopefully going to get out of town as soon as this is resolved, but I will get you a message. Einar nods and kind of gives him a little like toast with his cup and drinks. Felix also drinks. And then they just sort of sit in silence for a moment and finish their drinks, and then Felix gets up and heads out of the building.
Does it seem like that interaction was mostly like honest?
Make an insight check.
$25.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you believe Felix. He didn't really say anything that contradicts anything he's already told you. And yeah, watching Einar, he's he's definitely difficult to read. He's clearly sort of perfected a very like neutral facade, due to being maybe involved in some shady stuff. But yeah, you don't get the sense that he's lying at all.
Okay.
And yeah, he seems to consider Felix like a useful person to know. Felix is not really in his like web of influence necessarily, but this is like it's like doing this person a favor is probably is maybe going to come in handy for me one of these days.
This person is definitely not already in custody and will certainly help me in 3
Yeah,
weeks.
right. Yeah. He does not know that Felix is already arrested. But yeah, Felix leaves.
We'll probably have to like finish our drinks and stuff before we skedaddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, well, that's our time to go. Goodbye.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
I'll
guys
finish up whatever game I'm playing, you know.
yeah, you stagger your departures.
Ophelia's like, I bet you can't get 5 hoops in a row.
You come telepathically?
Yeah.
Well, joke's on you. I already did. You just
Get
weren't
it
paying
again.
attention.
No, I have to see it.
What will you give me if I do?
Kiss. No, 2 gold.
Okay.
Sure, let's hoops. Am I shooting hoops?
I mean, I don't know. I don't remember the games. Throwing
don't-
knives. Go throw
I
the
don't
knives.
remember. We didn't come up with that many of the games.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like tiny horseshoes. Like you throw a little hoop over a stick or something. I don't know.
Also, the terms of the bet have
Casino.
changed.
Yeah, this is a carnival. It's not really a casino. We have carnival games here. I don't know what casinos are like. I know they have cards, and then they have a lot of electronic games that we can't have in fantasy casinos. So,
You have to get
okay.
15 in a row.
Okay, make a dexterity check.
Okay. Well, the first one is an 8.
Okay, yeah, you get the first one, and then the second one you miss.
Oh well, I leave.
Right. Okay. You all meet outside at the bench. Aurelia kind of comes out of her. She's just been like staring straight forward. It's a little bit unnerving. But Hanalora like shakes her arm and she comes back and looks at all of you. Well, did you learn anything useful? Felix says, "Yeah, got a name. We'll have to track him down, and I'll have to get a look at him and see if he's the man I met." But that's a start.
And what is the name?
Let's see. Felix hands you the note from Einar, and the name is Helmut Heydrich. And there's also the name of like a bar written there as well, somewhere that this guy is known to hang out. Okay.
We should be able to beat him up, no problem.
I don't have a name for the. Wait, hang on, Julian. Okay. Yeah, so there's the name of a bar. Felix looks at it. He's like, "All right, yeah, that's in a seedier part of town. I think I know where it is." Well, I'm gonna have to take off this nice outfit before we go there.
He sounds so disappointed.
He looks a little disappointed. He's like,
Aw.
"This is really soft. My normal clothes not this comfortable." Um, Maybe we should wait a little while too. I don't know if. Well, I guess we could go there now and look, but he may not be hanging out in the bar in the middle of the afternoon.
Right.
Well, we have the time, I suppose.
Yeah, it's like 2 o'clock maybe by now. Okay. Anything you guys want to do in the meantime?
Don't think so.
Not me.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing springing to mind.
All right. Felix is going to want to go back to the inn and put on his normal clothes so that he doesn't look out of place walking through a sketchy part of town. Although he's like, I don't plan to confront this guy. I just want to, right? I mean, you don't want me to do that either.
No, just
So I got to get
let
in there
us
without
know.
being noticed, get a look at him, confirm his identity.
An
Easy enough.
invisibility spell would be so fucking clutch right now.
Oh, I got that, says Felix. Felix has invisibility. Let's see. Yeah, he can do it.
Oh,
He has greater invisibility, which only lasts for a minute, but he can like do shit while being invisible,
Yeah, that's nice.
cast
Mhm.
spells and stuff. I don't think Aurelia just has like sea invisibility.
I have
Um,
regular invisibility in case anybody
oh,
wants to be
okay.
invisible.
so we could potentially have two invisible
You
people.
sure could. Okay, yeah, Felix has greater invisibility. He could cast it 3 times potentially, or 4 times even in one day if he used up all his higher level slots. So he's got a few minutes of invisibility potentially, and then we have at least an hour of regular. And Antimony has disguised self too, right? So if you wanted, you could just look like whoever and go sit in
Yeah,
there.
I could just look like a random person.
Yeah, Felix secretly has 9th level spells. He just hasn't been using them. Okay, so yeah, you go back to the inn to sort of plan. Felix gets more disheveled again. Yeah, Aurelia's like, all right, I know I say this all the time, but I am the most conspicuous looking person ever. So I would rather not go into the bar, but I can stick around outside if you need me. I think it's probably easiest if Felix is just invisible. What about the rest of you?
Well, I could just disguise myself as somebody inconspicuous if we don't want to waste more invisibility spells.
Is disguise self concentration?
No.
Okay, so you could have that and invisibility
Yeah, I
up
could
on another
disguise
person if you
myself
wanted to.
while holding invisibility on someone else.
Okay.
Interesting. Well, how about you do that? But who gets to be invisible?
I already did my going in and doing shit. Like, I don't think I should do any more of it.
I've never been invisible.
You've been invisible to me.
Oh my
Thank you.
god.
You're welcome.
Oh my god.
I hope I continue to be.
Well, I mean, now you're my friend, so
Whoops.
I mean, you're just a casual acquaintance, but But I mean, before you decided to be annoying and bust into my life, you were pretty invisible. I mean, like, I didn't care at all about you, so.
So if we'd like to recreate that experience, can I go in invisibly?
Uh-huh. I guess I'll just fuck around outside. I don't know.
Yeah, you and I can hide outside
Mm-hmm.
if you want, says Aurelia. Honalora's like, I think I'll sit this one out. If that's all right. She's trying to pretend to be a normal person who doesn't want to sneak into a sketchy bar at night. Oh, and I think Felix relates the whole conversation to you guys. And Ophelia, do you kind of or Antimony and Ophelia too, do you guys like talk about everything you heard about Petrov
Yeah.
from Einar to everyone? Okay. So yeah, that's you now know that the local criminals here do not like the Myriad, which that Akora you kind of knew already because
Mhm.
Honolora had talked about that. And that they know Petrov is somehow tied to the Myriad, although he doesn't seem to be actively working to bring them into Druvenlode, which is why the Druvenlode criminals leave Petrov alone for the most part. But they also don't really want him. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's information you can decide to do something with later, perhaps. Who knows? Might come in handy. Okay, what time are you guys gonna go over there? You think?
When the nightlife gets going.
Okay. Are you basically what I'm asking is are you going home for dinner?
I think yes.
All right. Sounds good. Aurelia will stay with Felix because that makes sense.
Yeah.
And because she's responsible for him now.
Yes, he is in her custody.
Yep. Okay. All right, you get back to the house. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but nobody is dead. Everything is about as you left it. I know. I'm sorry this is so boring. There are like weirdly a lot of house guests. It kind of seems like people have come over to keep Cassia company. So yeah, there are several people here, mostly family members. Both of her siblings are here, some of your cousins, a couple of like personal friends, mostly not guild members, who aren't like family members because of the whole investigation thing. Uh, Unrelated guild members seem to be avoiding it, or at least not visiting. So, but yeah, it's kind of a subdued large family gathering, which is weird for this family.
Ophelia loves it. Nobody's talking.
Hell
Yeah, you're like,
yes.
ugh, surprise. family dinner, but then you're like, wait, they're all very quiet, so this is fine.
I guess we brought Dad's clothes back. Just go in the
Okay.
laundry.
Yeah.
He's like,
Felix
thanks.
doesn't need them anymore.
Let's see, what's I gonna do? Yeah, everyone's kind of making small talk. They all want to know what you've been doing in town and like when you're gonna leave and stuff. But you know, you guys can deflect those answers as you would like. Well, okay, they don't frame it like that. They're like, "How long are you staying?" Get the hell out of this town.
Yeah.
That's like a normal thing to ask when someone's visiting. Perfectly normal to be like, "How long are you in town?"
I guess so.
Oh my god. Just because Ophelia has never visited her family.
Okay, well, yeah, true.
I assume you don't really tell anybody anything.
Yeah. It's like, oh, probably not too much longer. We've got to get back. But we're not putting a day on it.
After dinner, Hannelore kind of gets Adakora by himself somewhere and is like, all right, the name that Felix had on that paper, that's the name I got from Mike. So
Good.
it's a good sign.
On the right track, hopefully.
Yep. Do you want me there tonight? I can, come on my own.
It might not be necessary.
All right, you take the stone though.
I will.
Okay, that's about all she has to say.
Yeah.
And then also Cassia. Once all the relatives have left, everyone has had like dessert and coffee and shit. Um, Cassia just seems kind of tired. Like it was, she seems sort of cheered up by the family members being there, but also a little bit tired at having to like have everyone over. And once they all leave, she uh goes to Antimony and like pulls her into the other room also. And she sits down on the couch in the living room where nobody is right now. How are you doing?
I mean, holding up, How are you?
The same. I look, I probably shouldn't know much about what's going on in the official investigation. I think they're keeping me in the dark on purpose, which makes sense, but what are you and Adakor getting into? Drugs.
Um, Well, we're just trying to follow up on a couple of leads. We spoke to well, actually maybe I shouldn't tell you.
Right.
But
How
yeah.
how dangerous is what you're doing?
Um hmm. Out of character, I'm like, how dangerous is this?
And Tiffany's like, have I thought about this? Not really.
In general or just in truth?
Right. Yeah, you've done some pretty dangerous shit, but it was in other places.
In retrospect, this is actually probably less dangerous than some of the
Yeah,
things
then
we've
going
done
into the
before.
forest to fight a hag. Yeah.
Well, it's not the most dangerous thing that we've done. I don't know if that's what you want to hear exactly, but
You're not going to, I don't know, get into fights or anything?
that's not the intention. No, we're trying to lay pretty low.
All right, that's something I suppose. I know you're an adult and your brother is even more of an adult, but I don't want you putting yourself in any danger for this, all right? It's going to be fine. I can handle this on my own, you know. I appreciate everything that you're doing to help. I really do, but if if you even think you're going to get hurt, just get out of there. Whatever you're doing, it's not worth it.
Okay, well, we'll be careful, I promise. I'm gonna give her a hug.
Yeah, she hugs you very tightly. I'm sorry all this happened during your visit.
Yeah, the timing was not great, I admit.
All right. Now, just be careful. Do whatever you're doing and come back home, all right?
Yeah.
And don't let Adakora do anything stupid either.
Well, that can be a tall order, but I'll do my best.
Okay. She gives you a kiss on the cheek, and then she gets up and goes back into the other room.
Yep. I will also head back.
Okay, so pretty close to the end of the time. Do you guys want to do anything in particular?
I want to confirm amongst us that none of us are planning to confront this person right now. Or if someone's thinking otherwise, I want to hear it. Like, we're just seeing if Felix can confirm that this is the guy. And then if he does, is there another, like, are we planning to do something else with that information immediately? Or are we just regrouping?
Okay, yeah, you all meet in Adekora's teenage bedroom to have this little meeting, team meeting.
Yeah. Aurelia's not here, so we'll just have to ask her later.
Yep. Yeah, the just the three of you. Hannah not in the room either. She is hanging out with your parents.
I think like ideally if what's her face Aurelia has her eye and she sees the person and then what's his face confirms, Felix confirms, then Aurelia can scry on that person later and we can maybe get him in a more isolated spot or see what his activities are.
Yeah, I think we're sort of, what is the word I'm looking for? Doing reconnaissance right now.
Mhm.
Okay.
And yeah, you can talk to Aurelia and Felix about this too when you go to the inn if you want. Or did you just want to have this meeting with them also? You could have done this there, we can say.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
still have that conversation.
All right, yeah. Sorry, we
with
can just
them.
forward ahead to you guys go to the inn and you meet Felix and Aurelia and have this talk. Felix is like, I'm gonna be invisible. Nobody's going to see me. And yeah, Aurelia nods. I don't feel like getting into any more fights in back alleys. Last time that happened, I almost got killed. And she kind of looks at Felix.
But you didn't.
Once, yes, I'll use my eye, and once it's confirmed, if Felix can confirm that this is the right person, I'll be able to find him wherever he is. We can try to follow him a little bit tonight if you want to, but there's not really a need for it.
Well, it's a plan.
All right. And I think since everyone who's going into the building is going to be in disguise or invisible, might as well bring your weapons just in case. Anything you think you might need.
Was that a question?
No, that was a
Oh,
suggestion. That was
okay.
Aurelia
Yeah.
being like, please bring your weapons.
Yes.
Because you can't
Yes.
really bring, like,
bringing weapons.
yeah, places like the casino, like, don't allow weapons. You have to leave them at the door or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, since you're not going to be visible, it doesn't really matter.
Yes.
And this might be the kind of place where people have weapons anyway.
Well.
You're not really sure about that though, so you'll just have to find out.
Yes.
Okay, gonna call it there, I think.
Yay.
Oof.